Shrutismritipurananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Suprabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhi Tamastu There are two topics we should know very clear about. One is the pursuit of knowledge has certain facts which we need to know. There are some facts we have to know when we pursue any knowledge. And that will open up another topic. We will talk about it later. We all know in order to know something, you need to know something. This much we know. It's like looking at a dictionary. I used to have difficulty. I had a dictionary, English dictionary, when I was going to school. English dictionary. New model English dictionary or something. This book was very sacred book for me. This book always I used to see. Other words, my problem was to know one word. I refer to this word, and then there are 3 other words given. Minimum. 3 words are there. All the 3 words I don't know. So, then I end up seeing each one of them. Each one has got 3 words. So minimum 3 words. So then there again one I don't know. So how are you going to understand? It's just impossible. Then only I understood, unless you know, you will never know. So this is an astounding discovery for me when I was young. You have to know something in order to know something more. So this in Sanskrit we say adhikritasya adhikaraha. Unless you are adhikrita, you have no adhikara eligibility. You have to have something, some structure in order to know something else. So knowledge is easy only for the person who is ready for it. Knowledge is generally we say sulabha. Lakshmi is durlabha. Lakshmi is difficult because you have to earn Lakshmi. Knowledge is very easy. Open your eyes, you see Swami sitting here. No problem. It's very easy to see a high riser. You don't require money. So if you have to build a high riser, you know, that you have to be a CEO of some company, okay? So to build a high rise there, you require a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of material. But to know that this is a high rise there, no problem. So they say, knowledge is sulabha. It's not. Not just a simple perception. Even that is difficult when your eyes have problem. That is also difficult. Certain decibels you don't hear. Certain notes you don't hear. Certain frequency, notes in certain frequency, you don't hear. And that's all a problem. Then afterwards, so you can't say it is easy. It's not easy. Not difficult. It all depends upon how well the means of knowledge is available for you. When it becomes knowledge like mathematics, you want to know something, what is topology. So topology means, what do you think topology? They're talking about the top, It's called topology. Talking about the top of the top of what you call, this on the top, chocolate and all that, and the top. A topology is to understand about space, etc. So you need to have geometry. So unless you have certain minimum knowledge of geometry, you are not going to talk about spaces, you are not going to study about spaces. So adhikritasya adhikaraha. That is why we have got graded syllabus. And this, unless you study this first lesson, second lesson, you cannot go. And unless you cover the second lesson, third lesson, you cannot go. That's why I say arithmetic, mathematics is purely logical progression, therefore you have to know in order to know further. It's not Indian history or something. You can start from somewhere and you can end somewhere. There is nothing to worry about it. You need not know anything in order to study these things. Because even if you know, so it's going to be a bluff. And so what is the big deal? So it's all perception of some people. So whatever it is, something recorded, something not recorded, something is inferred. Even recorded is from the standpoint of one person. What was behind, what was the whole thing, nobody knows really. The history is a silly thing, it is. So, but not in maths, you need progression. There is a progression there. You have to know in order to know. There is no progression. Aurangzeb was born this particular year. This is all Indian history. Aurangzeb was born in which year? So I wrote, when I asked me, I wish he was never born. That's what I wrote. Yeah. So this is what I wrote. What I would have written, Not I wrote. This has no progression or anything. This has no meaning. These things are all, you don't require a great infrastructure for all this nonsense. But in maths you have to know. You have to know in order to go further. That's why I gave that example. Adhikritasya adhikaraha. People who say I am weak in maths are not weak in maths. Some lessons were, either they were not available, they were not there, or the teacher himself didn't know much. And therefore those areas are islands. So on which lot of structures are there. So weak, definitely weak. So you become weak. I am weak. Nobody is weak in maths. Some lessons you didn't get them properly. Afterwards, the progression is impossible for you to cope up with. then you conclude that I am weak in maths. This is a very common thing for people to say, I am weak in maths. All these children also, Swami, I am weak in maths. And so, mathematics means logic. It's logical progress. So, adhikritasya adhikara, you can understand now. So, similarly also, here, knowledge, what is the knowledge that we are here in for? It's not something that I'm going to perceive. If that is so, then I can hone my senses properly, I can add instruments, etc. It's not a matter for inference either. Self is self-existent. Self is self-evident. Now I can talk, you can see how much I spend all this. Now I can mention this and proceed. Otherwise I can't mention and proceed. So self is the only thing which is self-evident. Everything else is evident to the self. If the self is self-evident, then I don't require any means of knowledge to tell me that I exist, that I am. But then the question here is that the self happens to be the cause of this entire world. Happens to be. That is the truth about it. If it is a truth, it is not a matter of belief. It is a thing to be understood. And it is being self. And then you require a means of knowledge. Suppose I say, this teaching itself is the means of knowledge for that. Then, so you require what is the infrastructure? What kind of infrastructure you have for this? So then we say, then you have a certain, we have to look into the nature of knowledge, what is the topic, etc. So when you sign up for a course in electronics, so there is no, suppose there is a form you have to fill up. So what do you know, what all you have studied so far, what it is all about, all that you say. But in that, there is no column. So do you have surrender? Do you have adambitvam, amanitvam, ahimsa, kshantihi? All these are all qualifications. Arjavam, etc. These qualifications are not mentioned, means so many values and attitudes, etc. are not really asked for. Even in employment, they don't ask for it. They only ask, are you honest? That's all. Just to find out, do you have any criminal record? That is one column is always there. And they will say, were you ever punished for any crime? That is one question is always there in everything. Was there any default in payment, etc.? So this is, even if you say no, then they will check up. Understand? Your whole Jatakam horoscope is there with everybody else except you. You don't have all the record, they have it all about you. And therefore, so this you have to answer them all this, but there is nothing, the questions like attitudes, etc., there is no. They don't need all that. So from all this, what we understand, that the nature of pursuit, what do you pursue, determines what you must have. If you have cognitive skills, you can learn anything. From astrology to zoology, A to Z, understand? So you can, from anatomy to zoology, okay? Whatever, you can learn. Alchemy also you can learn. So this, you can learn anything. From A to Z you can learn if you have got cognitive skills. So, but here, the cognitive skills alone are not enough in this knowledge. Why? Because what I want to know happens to be what I want to be. The difference is very clear. So what I want to be is different from what I want to know. I want to know zoology. I study zoology, but I don't want to be, the topic of zoology. Understand? I want to know, what we say, geology. But I don't want to become the topic of geology, even though I will be, but I don't want to be. So I want to study microbiology, but I don't want to be microbes, understand? So this difference is very clear. Here is what I want to know happens to be what I am. What I want to be. What I want to know is what I want to be. And what I want to be is what I am. That is another problem. So first let us see all the implications. So what I want to know is what I want to be. So now here what I want to be is, I want to be free from small, being small. Want to be free from being small, insignificant, bound by time, place, etc. So I don't want to be. Therefore I want to be somebody, I want to. See, that not knowing what I want to be. I want this, I want that, I want to fix up a few things. This is exactly what I do. But what I do is not adequate, I can't say. What I do is not what I need to do. Why? Because anything that I do has no connection to my basic problem. So the basic problem is I am small. And anything I do is going to bring about some small change centered on me. So I can have more money and I see myself through that money, that brings about a certain change in me. Oh, I am moneyed now. But that's not, I am insecure and little money, it means, that doesn't mean in fact that brings in some insecurity also. Because more money means, so there is some insecurity come along with that. Why? How to take care of it, You buy it. And therefore you buy along with money a sense of insecurity also. And therefore, so this, what I do, has nothing to do with what I want to be. I want to have a haircut, and somebody said, bring the scissors and cut. And then I brought the scissors and cut. What? The bushes. I go on getting bushes. Your hair is bushy. Somebody said, therefore cut the, then he goes about cutting the bush. No connection. So see, there is no connection between what I do and what I want to achieve. So seeing this absence of connection, so makes me more directed in the pursuit. That is why I become from a mumukshu, a jignasu. First I want to be free from all these limitations, etc. Then I come to know there is no other way of being free without my being free already. If I am already free alone, there is such freedom. Freedom from limitation must be the very nature of the self. If that is so, then I need to know, not I need to be. In fact, the need to be is resolved by knowing what I am. And therefore, the whole pursuit falls on my own lap. And here, so this makes the whole knowledge rather peculiar. Because, so the self is Ananda, let us say. Ananda means what? Ananda means what obtains when you are happy. That fullness. that subject, object, both of them fall within one full whole being. That wholeness is what is called Ananda. I want to be free from being small, let us say. And then what I should be? What is the qualification? I say, first achieve what the ignorant can achieve maximum. First, don't bypass that. You cannot bypass. You need to be a person, even ignorant of yourself doesn't matter, but the ignorant samsari is capable of achieving, is capable of growing into a person. That person is someone who doesn't feel I am small, even though there is a basic smallness, not compared smallness, this complex smallness. So comparing oneself with others, there is a smallness. That smallness is unwarranted. It has nothing to do with what I am. And therefore, so I have to grow emotionally here, and then only I am a complete person. As a jiva, as an individual, I need to grow into that person, and therefore there is life. There is a life of what we say yoga, because what you want to know is exactly is what do you want to be. The what you want to be, suppose you want to be free from being small, first don't look at yourself a small person, relatively. If you are going to be all fullness, etc., there should be an element of contentment, satisfaction, centered on you. If that wise person was generally told, that fellow is, so samam pashyan sarvatra, so whether he is one samabuddhi, he is the one who has got the same vision, neither one makes the person more secure, or the absence is going to make him less secure. So thus the one who is centered on oneself for his wholeness, for his well-being, he is the wise person. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. So this, if it is so, then how do you become that person? A disgruntled fellow, always grumbling about one thing or the other. The person we say is a murmurer. Heart murmurs, that's a different thing. That is okay, afterwards. He is a murmurer. All his lifetime, murmurer. Means what? Murmurer. In Tamil, munu tal. Means what? Whatever it is, always like this. You are useless. What is the use? What is the use of doing all this? That's all. It's always like, yeah, just. So this is the fellow. This is called murmurer. Complaining fellow. So if you look at the horoscope, that's also like this. Horoscope of Shani is like this. And they look at the brother-in-law, he is like this. That's why we all get married for what? Nothing. You don't get anything out of it. It's like, until phone rings. Hello? Then afterwards again murmur. After phone you put it down, then you always see the phone. What is it? It's always like. So this is a fellow. And he is told, see, he wants to Vedanta because he's got a lot of problems. Therefore he goes to Vedanta, how to get rid of this. Then Vedanta says, or Ananda. Then he has got a new cause for murmurer, for being a murmurer. So for murmuring, new cause, what? I am Ananda. I said, what do you get listening what? I am not Ananda, but I am always not Ananda. You see my experience. When I hear Ananda, Vedanta says, I am Ananda. He said, all these people, what do they say? If you talk about karma, you will say, yeah, my karma is bad. That's very clear. So, any one thing you say, he will convert it into a topic for himself. To murmur. It's all murmur. This fellow is a murmurer. He needs to really take care of himself first. Then Vedanta works. Otherwise, Vedanta becomes another topic for what? Murmur. Another topic for murmur. Why murmur? Why not vocal complaint that he did before? So nobody comes anywhere near him, therefore he started murmuring. Because everybody goes that side. Why? Because this fellow is coming here, doesn't mind walking another block. And one block extra the fellow walks because to avoid this complaining fellow. And therefore, so nobody comes to him, therefore murmur. Always murmur. All people are like this. Once upon a time, when I had money, everybody came. Now nobody comes. Because I have no money. So murmur. And so, this Vedanta never works. It will not work. Krishna knew. And before Krishna, he himself had, suppose he was Ishvara talking, so he had told in the Veda itself, so one has to be Shantaha, Dhantaha. All these big words are all there. And therefore, there is one who is at peace with himself, the one who has relative peace, relative cheerfulness, the one who can so enjoy a joke at his own cost. The one who cannot enjoy a joke at one's own cost is not fit for Vedanta. I write and give. You should be able to laugh at yourself, then you are ready for Vedanta. And otherwise you will be complaining, you become murmurer, okay? Oh, that fellow talks like that, so I am not like that. How can I be like that? Why people should look at me like this? They are always wrong. They don't know me at all. Hey, why don't you reveal yourself? Such a wonderful fellow, please reveal yourself. They don't know you, but why don't you reveal yourself? That you are such a great, compassionate, voice, intelligent person, why don't you reveal yourself to everybody? How can I reveal myself? Then forget it. This is complaining. Goes on, what is this? Vedanta won't work. And therefore, now we understand. So what is necessary to know Vedanta? You need to be a complete person. Can you explain this complete person means what? I have to be round? So what? What I should be? What? Complete person means what? You should be like a roller or what? One cylindrical person? Kya baat hai? What is it that you want? Rounded off person? Yeah, rounded off person. Oh, so that you can roll the fellow? So what are you talking? So, well, I tell you what. So in the areas where you can grow, you have to grow. Correct? Our body is programmed nicely. So what? So wherever it can store fat, it stores. Correct? Wherever it can store fat, it stores. So it stores in places where it can store. So if you eat too many donuts, in small donuts it stores. So wherever it can store, it stores. Yeah, it chooses the places. Means the places which are not much in use, such places like thighs, So because the thighs are not much in use, therefore lumps are there in the brain. So, so what I say, so wherever it is, wherever it can be safe, it can remain for the wintry day, for the starving day. So it preserves, the body is programmed. And similarly, wherever you can grow, you need to grow. All right, where I have to grow. Body is programmed to keep where it has to keep. But how will I where will I grow? That's very clear. Find out the areas of murmur. Okay? Find out the areas of murmur. Oh, my areas of murmur? Almost everything. My body, I got murmur. Body also I don't like murmur. It's a area of murmur. My relatives, areas of murmur. Even if they are not, you make them enemies, areas of murmur. My job, big area of murmur. My stocks, it is not murmur, it is a huge noise it is. Murmur, area of murmur. Everything area of murmur. Everything. Relationships, but not everything is area of murmur. Therefore, do you say that I have to grow in all of them? Yes. That is, this life is not enough. That is true, This life is not enough. That's why you will have another life. Don't worry. Next life also it will be the same. It will never be enough, it will never be enough, it will never be enough, because the areas of murmur are the same. Next year when you are born, if you are a human being, all these problems will be there. You will have a body, you will have a home, you will have people, you will have jobs, or you will employ people. So you will have same areas of murmur, they are not any less. Next Janma, next Janma, next Janma, next Janma, this will continue forever. If you look at them, it is too much to handle. All right, then what shall we do? So this is what we call troubleshooting. We have to now understand that troubleshooting means you have to know the source of trouble. And then you can shoot. You can't simply just to shoot, spray bullets everywhere. They themselves create further troubles. Because they hit all things that are not to be hit. And therefore, they create further troubles. So troubleshooting implies localization. You need to localize from where does this trouble come. Now let us see from where does it come. It comes from your privilege. What's my privilege? Your privilege is to desire freely. Oh, that's a privilege? Yes, it's a privilege. Oh, I thought it's a curse on me. No, it's a privilege. It's a privilege. Definitely, it's a privilege. A human being alone has got that free desire. Whatever that you have seen, experienced, you desire for. Whatever you heard from others, you desire for. I mean, if you are interested in it. Then even things that you cannot verify, you desire for. This is the human being's privilege. That's why you are interested in heaven, and the people die in order to go to heaven, paradise. In Bombay, there is one community, and this is another Muslim community, it's a different community, and this community, the head is there, the religious head is there. He promises, I will give you in the paradise, in your house, an orange tree. You pay 100,000 rupees. If you want an apple tree, 2,000 rupees. If you want a mango tree, then you have to pay 200,000. Mango tree, you have to give 300,000. All the three you want, we can settle for 5 lakhs. No, 500,000. 1 lakh less. Deal. Called paradise deal. Really, they collect money. The believers give. So you can understand how much you can condition people. It's amazing. They all give. Chiku tree. I heard about that. Chiku tree. You want a chiku tree? It's nothing. 50,000 rupees enough. Chiku tree will give. So one fellow said, at least chiku tree you give me. Because he doesn't have a lakh of rupees. So he said, chiku tree is enough. So he gave me chiku tree, 1 chiku tree. Okay, that's enough. You can eat for your whole year you can eat chiku. Nothing. It will give. It's not like our chikus here, paradise chiku, bada chiku. So chiku is a fruit. What do you call that? No, in English? Yeah, okay. So, that is enough, don't worry. So this... These are all... People believe. So what I say, so you can, this is a unique capacity. A cow, even a known thing cannot desire for. No cow can ask the bullock. So, honey, shall we eat out today? And then this honey says, where will we eat? All non-vegetarians stop. Don't ask me to go out. Let us eat here. Honey, there is a Chinese restaurant there. They give you chop suey. Or they put eggs there. No egg, honey. There's no egg. Eggless things are available these days. We can get tofu. You have joined that group? Health food group? Anyway, so this kind of a problem the cow and bullock don't have. Correct? Just I'm giving you an idea of what a privilege you have got. That you can have an argument, etc. Choices, tremendous choices, especially in America. Wow, what choices you have got. Tremendous choices. Choices that can confuse you. Wonderful. It's a privilege. You can't say this is a curse. This is a privilege. That marks the evolution, the difference, if it is evolution or endowment, that marks the difference between the free thinking person and the programmed jantus, animals. So this free thinking person means the privileges are manifest in various ways. You can explore and know. You can infer. You can explore and know. This is a great endowment. This jnana shakti, unbridled. You are ignorant, all right, but you can explore and shed ignorance. You can invent also machines and whatnot based upon what you know. Then you have a capacity to desire. Ichha Shakti, unfettered Ichha Shakti. The only fetter for this Shakti is your ignorance. You don't know. And your own leanings. You know, but you have your own leanings. So when you go to the vegetable market, you see so many vegetables, but you don't pick them all. So your eyes fall upon only those things that you like. And in fact, you sympathize with that vendor, with that storekeeper, that fellow, this seller. What? That how is going to sell all these pumpkins and all that? Who will buy? There are people for buying everything. Next day you go, it's gone. There are pumpkin lovers. There are bitter gourd lovers also. Don't think only everybody loves potatoes. There are some people who don't like potatoes. There are some people who are not supposed to take potatoes. There are some people who never buy tomatoes. So you find all this. What does it mean? Even known things do not become your objects of desire. So what decides? Different things decide. What exactly you want to buy, what exactly you go for, is decided by a number of factors. Knowledge or inadequate knowledge, the lack of knowledge, complete knowledge, lot of things, or some advice that you have got from somebody, that also decides what you buy, what you don't buy. Until that advice is changed by another big fellow, that is not true, that's all bunkum, eat whatever you eat. Japanese eat lot of fat. No, they eat very little fat. And they also get fewer heart attacks. Fewer than the British and Americans. The French eat more fat, but they get fewer heart attacks than British and Americans. The Japanese take very little red wine and they get fewer heart attacks than British and Americans. And the French take, not eat, the French take more, lot of red wine and get fewer heart attacks than Americans and the British. From this, what do you conclude? What do you conclude? This is the conclusion. Eat whatever you want. But if you speak English, it will kill you. That's all. Some logic. So our choices are all funny, controlled by different people, different things, cultures and whatnot. How you were brought up. There are a number of factors. It's just impossible to really put your finger. This is the reason why you decide this, you like this. But the truth is, everybody has leanings. Everybody has the privilege of desiring, and the desiring itself has got a certain individual connotation, individual accent, which what we say, one's own raga, one's own dvesha, one's own like leaning towards and leaning against. So that is, the other one is going against dvesha. So you don't want certain things, that is what they want. Like the blue cheese. Who wants blue cheese? Don't say that in this country. There are a lot of people who will stand in the queue for getting the best blue cheese. Best blue cheese means it has more fungus formation. And you get the stink 1 mile away. Then only that is the best available. There are people who love to have it on the top of their salad, so that it is not hidden, it is up, right in front of the nose. They can get the aroma. Samsara. Who is to decide? Who has got to decide? Every culture has got something. So it's not that everywhere it is, it's not one culture has got something like this, every culture has got something. Something others can never handle. And therefore, like Indian sweets. In India, sweets means it is sugar plus, understand? It's not anything. It is sugar plus. That's called sweet. It is sweet. That's all. We don't even know what is sweet. And therefore, so this is how it is. You find everywhere, every culture has got its own something. Others cannot handle. But they handle, those people who love, they handle. From this what we understand, that determined by a number of factors, everyone has got desires directed towards certain things as what we say likes or raga, and against certain things called dvesha. This raga and dvesha exist in every human being. No exception, please. Raga dvesha are not different from desires. They are just desires. And I told you already they are privileges. Therefore, raga dveshas are privileges. Raga dveshas are not bad. We concede that makes you an individual. So your individuality is characterized by your raga and dvesha. So you don't exist as an individual without your raga dvesha. In clothes you have raga dvesha. In everything you have got raga dvesha. That's not a problem. Even Krishna, who is talking about raga dvesha, also had his raga dvesha. He always liked to play flute. And this flute, not this flute. And then you press buttons. That's not this one. This flute. More difficult. A reed, just a reed. And this flute. Why not this flute? Why this flute? His own life, his own raga. Why not guitar? His own raga. You can't say Krishna didn't have guitar, he didn't know what was guitar. He was Ishvara, forget it, don't say that. So he knew what was guitar. So he didn't care for guitar and he went for this. That's it. Raga. And he always loved butter. He didn't want that to be converted into ghee, which is not good. And therefore it undergoes a change, the molecular change because of heating. And so straight butter is always better. And so he really set an example for everybody, which in India they don't follow, but they follow here. So butter is better. Butter is better, not ghee. Deshi ghee. Asali ghee. Asali ghee means what? More fat, that's all. And so, that's how it is. Then Krishna set an example. And then he always had a pitambaram, in yellow upper vastram, this kind of a scarf. Why yellow? He thought the blue and yellow go together. He was a blue boy. He liked that combination. Then he had a feather on his cap. And the feather, because peacocks are available in India, therefore peacock feather. If you were here where there is no peacock, you will have an eagle feather, like our Indians here. And so he had a peacock feather. Why this peacock feather? Nobody else had peacock feather. He only had a peacock feather. Never before, never later, anybody, not even a tribal, he only had a peacock feather. Typical. Like these one-ear ring fellows. He had his own peacock feather. What is this? He wanted to be someone different? Yeah. He had the privilege of desiring his own something. This is not a great desire. This is just liking. He liked to come out with a feather on. We all tried to gather some feathers to our cap. He always had a feather on his cap. Understand? Very colorful one. So this is what his own likes and dislikes. I don't know what song did he, I'm sure it is Yaman more. What raga is always Yaman. You know, Yamuna Thira Vihari. So Yaman he liked because he was on Yamuna Thira, on the banks of Yamuna, therefore he talked more, he sang more Yaman, the raga Yaman, as a particular melody. And so you have all this. Likes and dislikes, certain things he didn't like, some fellows he didn't like. And he said that also. Jarasandha, Shishupala, he destroyed. Kamsa, all of them he destroyed. So not that Krishna was free from Ragadvesha. He had his own Ragadvesha. But he advised one thing. The advice was, Tayor navasham na agachet tauhasya paripanthinau. For you, these two fellows are your enemies. When? If you come under them. That is where your growth lies. Tayoho vasham na agachet tau hasya asya purushasya tau ragadvesho paripanthinau. They are Shatru. They are the enemies like. They are privileges given. They become enemy. So this is what they say. Suppose this in India we have these small matas. Matas means a small little, where a sadhu was living. There's a mat. He passed away and his samadhi is there, means his burial place is there. A sadhu is not cremated because cremation is a ritual. To perform the ritual, nobody has got the qualification. Nobody, because he is unconnected to anybody, therefore he is buried. Now that mat continues. There is always somebody who is staying there and then doing daily some small puja to the temple and taking care of. He is called, he is a Pandara. It's called Pandara. He is a simple, person, a sadhu, and may not be connected to this person at all, but just he is a wayfarer. He comes there once and then somebody said, why don't you take care of this? We will take care of you. So the village people told and he stayed there. Then what happens? He is there for the past 5-10 years he is there. Then another wayfarer, a sadhu, comes and then he gives him place. And he does a little bit of work. And he brings some flowers and he strings the flowers, he makes malas and gives and all that. So he asked him, please stay here. So you are very helpful to me, why don't you stay here? Then he stayed there. That's all. Afterwards, he began contacting all the trustees of this mutt and he put them all together, went on telling how this fellow is bad. Then afterwards, that fellow is gone, original fellow is gone. He occupied. He called Edatha. So you give him the place and place is you are gone, you are out. These kind of things in different levels you find, you know. So in corporates, in situations also you have this kind of thing. All maneuvering. That is exactly what happened inside. So you have some privileges. You allowed these ragadveshas to exist. In America, they are in fact fanned. In India, at least, there is a thali culture. Thali culture means you want food and they'll give you a thali. Thali means a plate. It's all kept there. You like it or not, this is what it is. You pay and go. So this is what you eat, whatever that is given you eat. You can't say cut that out, cut this out, put this in, this is what it is. Even if you say coffee, they will decide how the coffee should be. You can't say, hey, they won't ask you, coffee, do you want, how do you want coffee? How do you take coffee? And if you ask that mama, that fellow who is running that small coffee, Brahmana coffee hotel, that fellow, he doesn't know how will you take coffee. How will you take coffee? So how will you take coffee? No, he is not going to tell you anything. How will you take? How will you have your coffee? How will I have? Not through my ears. So definitely through my mouth I will take. How will you have your coffee? Okay. And then that fellow decides exactly what that coffee is. So he is not going to ask you, do you want decaf? And do you want cream? He will be horrified that he knows only one cream that he bought for his wife, which is called Pond's cream. He doesn't know any other cream. And you ask him, do you want cream? This fellow is horrified. Do you put cream? He's not going to ask you, do you want cream? How many sugar? He had never counted the crystal. So how is he going to answer your question? Hey, this is coffee, do you want or not? This is coffee. He gives you coffee. Decided. There is sugar. There is everything. Any one thing, chaya, it is like that. Everything is decided. Even marriage is like that. This is what it is. Come on, get married. Whoa. This is what? This is a different culture, I say. This is a different culture. You are born. This is the job you have got. Is born with you is the job. And that's a different culture, non-competition, more acceptance. But here, go on asking from childhood. Your ragas are fanned, your dveshas are fanned, ragas are fanned and dveshas are fanned. And therefore, always cut this out, add this lip. You have to say all this. And whoever, another thing, the Indians who come here, they are not used to this. But then they come here, they think that they are Americans. And therefore, they will purposely, even though they can eat the whole thing, but then they will say, will you please remove the tomatoes? just to feel they are American, Humble. So this is all of them. Be honest. Honest to yourself. So all these fanned ragadveshas, when you have got such individual, it has got its own some beauty about it. You have your own individuality, you have got your own small preferences. In color you have got preferences, you have got this shade and that shade. All preferences, all preferences, all preferences. Wow. Ragadveshas. No problem. They're all privileges. As long as you manage them. If they manage you, you better grow to manage them. You don't let them manage you. We will talk of Vedanta later, the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om